We're going to remove this one. So you take the end of the hammer and you just pull back, like so. Nail.
So you're going to need to sand out as many bumps as you can. And you can put the sandpaper on a block to make this easier for
you. You start squeezing, you're meant to work the tube with your fingers. So it's actually movable. You can hear that. What?
You'll need one of these, ideally, because this is what's going to be used to apply the polyfilla onto the wall.
So you have to squeeze directly onto the wall, and then it's great.
The blue tack and stuff off the wall. Okay, so we have this tape, and this is called drywall joint tape, and it's the easiest way to do the edges between the fake walls, because we want them to be nice and smooth and not distracting like this. So one side is shiny, I don't know if you can see that on camera, and the other side is matte, and the shiny side gets sticky when wet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a brush, get it a bit wet, and then really thoroughly paint it with water. Make sure you get like all the edges. And so now I can feel that this is a bit like glue. So this here has been done with brown tape and hot glue, and you can see how it starts to peel away more than how the areas that have been done with the white tape have been. For example, over there. It's held up a lot better over time. This is the paint that will be going on the walls and floor. So make sure that you're using this one. It's provided by the uni. There's generally a couple different colours. Before you paint the floor, you're going to want to make sure that you sweep it up really thoroughly. And if you can, get a hoover. Because painting over this is not going to go very well. So this is frog tape. And so we're going to use this on the edge between the wall and the floor to make a really clean straight line between the paint. So we're going to apply this along the edge of the wall. It's a bit dusty. And then when we paint the floor, the wall will stay clean. And then so when we peel it away, we'll have a perfectly straight line. And if you're doing multiple colours on the wall in your space, you can also use this to get that same effect.
When it comes to achieving a nice clean finish with the paint, it's better to use a paint roller because I find the brush leaves marks afterwards. You can use the brush if you want to get accurate cuts along the sides, but you can just use frog tape for that. So it's better to go in with the roller. I think you can get extendable ones, but the uni usually provides them. So we're going to hang something. You want to take your spirit level and make sure the bubble is in the middle. Now this will depend on what your board looks like because a lot of them aren't even. So sometimes you need to just eyeball it and trial and error, whatever fits your room. But for this, we're just going to do it level to gravity. So I've just marked out 2 dots. I'm going to hammer a nail into it. So this is a real wall. You don't want to be hammering a nail into that. We're not allowed. This is a fake wall because it's a board. Hammer this. nail into this. Do whatever. Not that one. This one.
If you want to go into these walls, you have to get the technician's support. So these are staples from a staple gun that have gone into the wall to display someone's work. You can use these. However, as you can see, they are flat and they are quite painful to remove. So if you can think of an alternative, it might make your life easier.
Remember when you're picking which screw or nail to put into the wall, that it's not actually thicker than the wall? So if you are going to drill in with something this big, don't go all the way. Go halfway. Or if you do need to leave some of the nail out for your piece, then be sure to measure how much you want to leave out.
Because otherwise, you can see here, someone's gone through. And if you have people exhibiting on both halves of the wall, it's gonna go into their work. And that's not what we want, is it?
No.
Okay, so we've got our first nail in the wall here, and we want to leave the second one out the same distance. So we're lining the end of the hip with our mark, and then holding it at the base. And now that it's kind of stabilized, we can take our fingers away so we don't hit them. And I think that's about the same distance out from the wall. And remember that wherever you put the nails in the wall, if you're hanging something like this, the center will be lower than the nails. Cables across walkways are not very safe. Please make sure you always have them moved out of the way. If you have to have a cable running across a walkway, the stores can provide you with cable covers. So when you're putting up work, it might be beneficial to put it up using a dress pin. However, when it comes to removing these, please make sure that you take them all out, because otherwise when the technicians come to take the boards down, their hands can get cut up on them because they're kind of hard to see.